Welcome to the Owasso Association podcast. I have with me Heather B. with Heather B. Sweets. She just joined the association just a few weeks ago, I feel like.
Yep.
And we have her today, and she's going to be talking all about her bakery and everything leading up to her journey, leading up to it, what she's doing, why she's doing it, and she's going to share all about it. But before we get into any of that, I do have a very serious question.
Excellent.
And it's like the question of all questions.
Yes.
So it's really just an icebreaker. So if you could get paid $1,000 for every piece of pizza you consumed, realistically on a consistent basis, how many pieces of pizza could you eat per day?
Per day?
Per day.
A lot.
Okay.
Hello. Like $1,000 per piece of pizza. How much could I eat per day?
Yeah, but the kicker is
Right.
is if you do not meet the quota that you set for yourself, for every slice of pizza that you do not eat, you owe back $5,000.
No.
So it puts some limits on this.
Yeah. So I'm going to go. I feel like I could do 10. I'm going to go with 10.
10?
I'm going to go with 10. 10 pieces of pizza per day, 10,000 a day. That sounds excellent.
That sounds great.
like something I would sign up for.
I would love that too.
I would throw up in the evening for that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Do you why 10? Is it just a
So actually I have kind of an interesting, so I've had gastric sleeve surgery. I know it doesn't seem like I have.
Okay.
I did initially lose a ton of weight, and then over the last 3 years gained every single bit of it back, which seems impossible because if you know anything about gastric sleeve, they literally remove 80% of your stomach.
Okay.
So I only have a stomach that's 20% the size of yours. So there is still a large amount of restriction of what I can consume at one time.
Okay.
The problem is that I don't think physicians understand the love affair that I have with food.
Okay.
And how if you just eat constantly and have no breaks, you can actually gain weight with 20% of a stomach.
Okay.
And I should be studied. Oh. Anyway, but I can't necessarily eat like 5 pieces of pizza at one time.
Okay.
So I feel like 10 gives me the opportunity to eat
all day.
I could probably get down 1 piece of pizza per hour.
Okay.
I would be severely dehydrated, as I also cannot eat and drink at the same time.
Okay.
Because there's no room.
There's no room.
So I can either eat or drink. And as you might have guessed, I probably am chronically dehydrated because shock of your life, I always choose eat. Always.
Yeah.
Under no circumstance am I like, I should hydrate.
Well, I mean, it's
absolutely not.
So it's the love affair.
It's the love affair.
It's the love of the game.
I gamed it so hard, and I had no idea that I had it in me. But here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 10 grand a day. I mean, you're sitting pretty.
Yes.
Yeah. But do you think you could hit the 10 every single day?
I am wildly financially motivated.
Well, so that's why I asked the question,
right?
Because on this podcast is always business owners.
Yes.
And I want to know, like, okay,
what
drives you, right? Because I've had quite a few different answers over. I've asked this question multiple times.
Like altruistic answers, and
I had a New Leaf, the marketing director. For a New
you're
Leaf.
Doing it for Jesus.
Yeah. He said 24 a day. A day. Yeah, he was like, no problem.
Yeah.
Or maybe not 24, but it was in the 20s. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's tough, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not a super risk, right? And it's because of the gastric. He probably didn't have gastric sleeve surgery.
But he was like,
because if not, I would have said 20 a day.
But he didn't even tell me what his motivation was. It was just like,
no, I want to be consistent. I never want to give you any money back. And I feel like I could make that work for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. Well, so that brings me into a good segue into let's talk about your business and how you got to where you are today. Obviously, it sounds like there's like a money driver there of working for yourself, and,
Right.
Owning Heather B Sweets. And you shared a little bit with me beforehand of your past, and you were a professional RN for many years, and then COVID happened.
Right.
And then what?
And then healthcare got super unfun. Not that, so I spent 15 years as an RN, and I loved it. I mean, like truly, some of my favorite memories of my entire life came from taking care of those patients.
Awesome.
For most of that 15 years, I was an oncology nurse, which is a cancer nurse. And so I've done everything, and I've done lots of different things. I've worked in the operating room. I've worked in the ER for 5 minutes, because that is wild.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, like, those ER nurses, like, for president. I am not kidding. Those people, I lasted, I think, 90 days in the ER. And I'm like, I'm tough. I am made of steel. And I lasted 3 months.
What about the ER is?
So in one day, there was an 8-year-old that came in suicidal, and a 2-week-old baby coded and died. And I was like, oh, and then right before I leave, an 18-year-old comes in actively miscarrying a child. So I went home distraught.
Yeah, go live your normal life after that.
I mean,
right?
I was like, I am never coming back. This was literally the worst day of a lot of people's lives. And you know, the mom of that 2-week, I mean, just like hit the floor. I mean, like, it was, just thinking about it right now gives me, I mean, I'm talking about true PTSD. And I don't think anyone talks about the kind of, I mean, that's something that those people see. Like, it took one time for me to see that. And it was like, here's my 2 weeks notice. I mean, it was legit. Probably I lasted another 2 or 3 shifts after that, but I couldn't get those images out of my head.
Sure.
I mean, like, you can't unsee that. You can't unhear that. I can still hear that mother. Yeah, it was devastating.
Oh, that's why they call it trauma. I mean,
exactly. It was so traumatic. And as someone who had not, I mean, I had, obviously being an oncology nurse, there was a lot of death and a lot of loss, but there's a lot of time also, right? Because it's a slower process, usually, not always, but there is a lot of like preparation. And I did a lot of hospice, which I think is such a gift, you know, to give someone so that they have time to say goodbye. I don't know. There's a lot of, but that was, and I was in the ER during COVID as well. So then you can't have like family members back there and like someone going through, I mean, just the worst moment of their entire lives. And it's like, no, there's no
with you. Wow.
Nope.
So you turned in your 2 week after that, which
I did.
I probably would have done the same.
Right.
And then you were like, let's start a bakery or,
right.
or what happened?
So as I'm trying to navigate COVID and what it did to healthcare. So being an oncology nurse and essentially injecting people with poison, because I wasn't an ER nurse only. I was working PRN as an ER nurse. I was also working as an oncology nurse at Oklahoma Cancer Specialists. And so I think for me, I was probably trying to find just something else where I fit.
Yeah.
And so I thought, let me try to be an ER nurse. That should be fun. That was not fun. That was the opposite of fun. And so I had been baking from home. So I started Heather B Sweets out of my home. I lived in Jinx. Jinx is an amazing community. I lived near a neighborhood that really supported me, and it's called Yorktown, and they have like their own like little magazine. It's kind of like Stone Canyon here in Owasso. Cool, yeah. And so they really rallied behind me, and it was a lot of like, you see those porch bakeries now. So I would like make a menu for the week, and the moms or whoever would kind of order cookies, and I would either drop off on their porch or they could come pick up off my porch.
Okay.
And so I had been doing that from home for a couple of years, and it just got to the point where I just wanted to do it more. As it kind of caught on and as I got busier, I wanted to be a nurse less. And as COVID continued and the fatigue of trying to convince people to trust you when that was just really out the window.
There's no
I mean,
trust
was just really broken during COVID. And when you're taking care of a patient population that's already so isolated, it was so difficult to further isolate those people. I mean, like, that's so traumatic to be like, I know you're in septic shock, but you actually can't have your wife here. Yeah. Like, are you joking? No. Are you insane? Yeah. Like, they are 1,000% gonna die and they don't. Anyway, it was so difficult to be like, still positive, see the bright side. Like, that just became, I couldn't anymore see there's already so little bright side to like, hey, this is my third bout with cancer. Like, great.
Yeah.
So good.
Awesome.
That's okay. You're going to be stronger, you know? And then COVID. So then just something else on top of it. I could not find joy in any of it anymore.
Yeah. Whereas
before, so for example, when I was a brand new nurse, I took care of a lady, Mrs. Booth. Mm-hmm. She was in the hospital for a very long time. I mean, it was months she was in the hospital, and she just had an infection that we just could not get rid of. And she was very, very sick. And we got her to a point where she was going to be discharged. And she asked me for my parents' address because she wanted to write them letters telling them how much I had impacted her life.
Wow.
And she wanted to make sure that my parents knew what kind of person I was. And that was so, my dad still has the letter. My mom still has her letter. Obviously, we spent an enormous amount of time together. So she knew my parents were divorced. She knew enough that she wanted to send my dad his own letter and my mom her own letter. And they still have it was, when does that ever happen? I mean, I made origami with a 13-year-old boy whose dad was in the hospital for months. I mean, this kid, he didn't have anywhere else to go. There was no other family. Social work was trying to be involved, but the dad wasn't completely unable to care for him. He just also had to be inpatient in the hospital. So the kid slept on the floor, and we would make origami overnight. And I still have the origami that he made me. I don't know. You just don't. In what other profession, in what other world do complete strangers make that kind of impact on your life?
Sure.
Both ways.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. So
what kind of care or impact do you think that those people had on you?
Oh, tremendous. I mean, the amount of, like, you just believe in humanity. You just believe in the power of, obviously it's so difficult to watch someone suffer, but the amount of resilience, I think that's the other side of it, is watching someone also come back from it. And it doesn't happen every time. And yes, it's incredibly sad, but watching someone be that resilient and come out the other side stronger and give you that kind of love back is so powerful. And that's what I mean, where it's like, there's just joy. Maybe not in the typical way that you normally find joy, like eating frosting and like having a birthday cake and
Was there, from what you learned at your time there, were you able to translate that into like the love of what you do now?
Right.
Yeah.
I want to feel it. I want other people to feel it.
Cool.
And I think I lost that with COVID. It just got to a point where people had put up this wall that was even more difficult to break through, where it's like you're a complete stranger. Like, hey, can I inject you with a whole bunch of poison? And we're just going to cross our fingers and hope for the best, and we'll see if it works.
Yeah.
Cancer treatment has come a long way, and we are better than we've ever been, but it's still not a guarantee.
Right.
And so getting someone to trust you anyway, in any circumstance, is not super easy. Sure. And so anyway, I just had lost joy. Yeah. So I was baking. I was trying to find that joy. You give someone a birthday cake and it's just a pretty happy time, no matter what.
No matter what.
A birthday cake is a pretty happy day. Like someone eating my banana pudding and just like, this is the best banana pudding. Or this is such a good example. I have this very precious lady that orders from me every week. She orders lunch. She's disabled. She's wheelchair bound. She has a compromised immune system, so she cannot be out among public a lot of health problems. And she got very, very sick a couple weeks ago and had not been eating and was able to introduce soft foods last week. She ordered potato soup. And she sent me an email that just said, you know, you just can't know the amount of, you know, I've not had any strength. I've not been able to eat for 2 weeks. Your potato soup is the only thing I wanted. And getting it last week and being able to keep it down was so, I mean, that's incredible, right? And I was so happy to do it for her.
Does that play into your love affair with food?
I'm so in love with food. It'll turn your day around.
Yeah,
I am just here to tell you that, like, you cannot be eating frosting and punch someone in the face.
Not at the same time.
Absolutely not.
Two separate things.
Two separate things.
Yeah.
You're not doing it
at
the same time. You're not dunking Oreos in milk and cussing someone out, typically.
Well, I mean, maybe you could
You
do
can,
that. Yeah,
physically.
Physically, that is...
But you don't typically want to.
No.
Right? It's just a pretty happy thing.
If you do, you're in a pretty odd situation.
It's a strange position to be in. I don't know. I feel like if I'm having a hard time, I'm eating a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
And it does turn it around every time.
Well,
every time.
You know the saying, like, you're not you when you're hungry, right?
Right.
Snickers,
like, just eat a Snickers.
Just eat a Snickers
Yes,
bar,
just eat a Snickers.
right?
And it helps every time. Every time, without fail.
You're always in a pretty good mood afterwards.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And whether that's the high from the sugar or some placebo, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care why.
I don't care why.
I'm so happy. Also, I kind of want to race.
Yeah.
And that feels good when you're 40.
Yeah.
Because I never want to do that.
No.
Unless I've eaten a bowl of frosting.
Something.
I do want to race.
To get you there, right? Yeah. So after COVID, you went and you just kind of grew into it more and more because you enjoyed it more.
Right.
And then when was your like official launch and you were like, I'm going to do this full time?
Okay. So as I was kind of transitioning, so eventually I went part-time as a nurse, which allowed me to do the baking more. And then eventually I even went PRN. As a nurse, which just means as needed. So I could work as much or as little as I wanted, but there was no set schedule. You know, when you're part-time, you have to hit 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
When I was PRN.
My wife's a physical therapist.
Very good. Yes. Yes. So most weeks I still worked at least 20 hours a week, if not more, but I didn't have to. And that felt really good.
Yeah.
So if I had some kind of event, I went and set up at a lot of rodeos. And that my nieces do barrel racing with horses. And so that was just something that I got into. So when I had something like that out of town, I didn't have to be tied to, well, but you work every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
And so then I could say yes. Anyway, so as I transitioned out of nursing, my husband thought, maybe you should try to work at a bakery before you open a bakery. And I was like, all right,
I'm
weird.
good.
I think I can do it, but whatever. I really love the Pioneer Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Ree Drummond
I saw your photo on Facebook.
Yes,
I thought
Ree
that was
Drummond
cool.
came and visited me. Anyway, I went and applied at her bakery at the Mercantile in Pawhuska. I live in Talala, Oklahoma, which no one knows where that is. But
well, that's where my wife's from. I know. I was there on Easter.
Ian, hey, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's
so
about this big.
It's about 5 seconds, and then it's just gone.
Yep.
Anyway, I live out in the country, and so it only took me about 50 minutes to drive to Pawhuska. Obviously, it seems a lot further than that when people from Tulsa are like, you drove to Pawhuska?
It's like, well,
but I
I'm
worked
in
2 days a week.
Talala.
I worked Tuesdays and Saturdays. I applied at her bakery, and I literally had never, I hadn't applied for a non-nurse job in so long. So, of course, I bring this guy my resume, and of course, everybody else that's working at her bakery is like 18 years old and like can lift 27,000 pounds and like can run circles around me. But also like anyway, it was just so interesting to apply for a non-healthcare job, a non-RN job. And he was like, so why? You know, it's going to be like $10 an hour. And that's, you know, like.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
not quite what a nurse makes. So why do you want to?
Big difference there.
It's kind of a big difference. And of course, I would have done it for free. I mean, I really just needed to work somewhere.
It was like your bakery internship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. And I didn't know that it was going to be so quick, right? But once I got there and once I started, it was legit the hardest physically. I mean, I am not a fit human being, but it was so physically challenging. I mean, kids, literally kids that worked there could run circles around me. I mean, I remember it was either my first or second shift. We were baking off her pecan pies.
Yeah.
And the girl that was teaching me put 4 pies on one baking sheet and then dropped in. And so that there were wall ovens that were stacked too high.
Okay.
And I think there were 8 total in the bakery. So a lot of ovens going on. She would drop into a full squat and, just like
just do the thing. Yeah.
16 pies in the bottom oven. And then we had to rotate them. You have to move them. The top shelf doesn't bake the same as the bottom shelf. All such good, again, information you would never know.
Yeah.
I don't have an oven at home that has 4 levels and has a convection at the back. So you have to turn it around and rotate a quarter. So I needed to know that stuff. I also can't full squat and then spring back up, turns out.
Like an 18-year-old, yeah.
With 4 pies on a cookie sheet. So I tried and I dropped them all. I mean, like boiling hot, right? Dropped 4 pecan pies just completely ruined, just trashed. Because I dropped into a squat and I could not get back up. And so the poor dishwasher man is behind me trying to get me anyway, humiliating.
Sure.
And I learned such a good lesson.
A very good lesson. Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. And no, I cannot have an oven that has 2 levels. So my oven that I ended up buying is up. I bought it from an older couple in Arkansas. And he also, I think he was in his 80s.
He couldn't squat. Yeah.
And so he had his kind of up on legs.
Yeah.
Genius.
So you
jackpot.
Man, so you learned a ton.
I learned a ton. It was a lot of things like that. You just can't, when you're mass producing things like that, there was just so much, like big immersion blenders and the RoboCoupe food processor versus a standard food processor. What's the difference between an industrial KitchenAid mixer versus the KitchenAid mixers that are at Sam's?
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. Why would I know any of that? Why would I spend $1,000 on a mixer when the one at Sam's is $300? Got it. I do know now.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
And I know the difference.
Yeah. My dad, he's he's the type of guy who's like, if you're going to buy it, buy the best one.
Oh.
Buy it once.
Yes.
And
my family is not like that.
Oh, really?
Absolutely not. Right. Let's buy it from a garage sale that is 2,000 years old and it doesn't have to work. And
we'll just
duct
fix
tape.
it as it goes.
Duct tape is super helpful.
Yeah.
And just like close your eye and like,
when I was getting into media, like back in COVID is when I first started getting into it, and I was looking to upgrade my camera. I had a very rinky-dinky camera, right? And I'm looking online, I'm shopping, and I found a really good one for about, and if you know anything about cameras, like good ones are around $2,500, right? Yeah. I mean, decent ones. And then my dad was like, here, don't buy anything just yet. Let's wait a second. Let me help you do some research here. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. He comes back and he sends me a $6,000 camera. And I was like, Dad, I don't
have $6,000.
I don't have $6,000. And he's like,
I haven't eaten 6 pieces of pizza today.
He's like, put it on. Like, he's like, trust me, you'll want it.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want it that bad.
Right. Yeah.
like I want it, but I don't know how much I want
6,000.
it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, also with that, you have to buy a computer.
Right.
That will edit the photos that it takes. And then he sends me the best one there. I'm like, I'm $12,000 into this thing. Right. And I'm like, what are we doing?
This better work.
What are we doing here?
And,
you know, the rest is history, but I went with it.
Yeah.
And light years ahead of
right.
any
The way
of
it elevated you. Right.
the competition at the time, right? You know,
Right.
I'm actually probably due for a computer upgrade
Right.
at some point.
Which
now.
is so sad because now you only get 3 years out of them.
It's terrible.
It's like,
yeah.
$12,000 every 3 years.
It's like,
perfect.
great. Yeah, put that into the budget.
Yeah. Right. Good.
But, well, I'm glad though that you learned those things.
Well, and it was when my husband suggested it, I was like, so you want me to go work for $10 an hour away? But he knew how much I loved the Pioneer Woman. I mean, I've seen everything she's ever been in, movies, television shows, her cooking shows. I've seen every episode. I mean, if I have a hero, right, she's like someone I really look up to.
Yeah.
And I love her bakery. I mean, like, genuinely, I love her food.
Yeah.
I love the way she cooks. I love going to Pahuska and shopping at all of her shops.
It's a cool experience.
It was such a good idea because he knew that it's not, I don't know that I've ever gotten a job where it wasn't for the money. Right? Like, I'm not really sure. And maybe there are very rich people that like to work for funsies. I have never been one of those people.
Like, I'm not really.
Yeah, I really like
interested
to
in
work
that.
for the paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm really a big fan of that. And so I've never been in a position to be like, I would do this for free.
For free, yeah.
Because I wouldn't do anything.
Normally.
Anyway, I wouldn't. But it was extremely challenging. But despite that, I found myself I would be, obviously you have to follow her recipes. And I found myself wanting so badly to like add a pinch of this. What if we did this? Obviously I didn't do that. But I wanted to so badly.
That right there is like the mark of an entrepreneur.
I just was like, have you ever? Or I would see some of the younger kids. For example, you open up butter, and if it's soft, and you dump a pack of, a stick of butter into the mixer, there's still like butter residue on the sheet. And so I would always take a spatula and get every drop. I want every ounce of butter. And she'd be like, you're just wasting your time. And I'm like, do you see how much? I mean, like, we're putting
scraping butter
24 sticks of butter in some of these recipes. And so when you scrape 20, I mean, like, it's like probably 2 or 3 teaspoons of butter anyway. And I know not everybody feels that way, but even like, or heavy cream, you pour heavy cream out of the jug. Like, I want all of it.
Yeah.
I want every drop. Like, don't waste anything. But there were things like that I would see and be like, so you're just going to throw it away? You're not going to like let it sit upside down and make sure that it all goes to the end and like make sure you.
My wife's the same way.
I want I want to scrape, like if they make cookie dough and then they don't scrape the bowl, like they just kind of like dump it out and like it's clean. There's a whole cookie in there. There's a whole cookie in there.
There's a whole dang cookie.
What are you doing? And so I found myself feeling that way so often. Obviously, at first I was so overwhelmed because it was just so new. It was so foreign.
But once you got the hang of it.
But once I got the hang of it, it was like I had these ideas. And so it genuinely was what I was like, no matter what, I'm opening a bakery. I didn't know where. I didn't know when. I had no idea how to do it. And so you just start asking questions, right? So one piece of advice I got was just to start emailing, because I thought, how do you know where to open your business? Like, I don't just like own property.
Yeah.
Like I own my house. So unless I can have it in Talala, by the way, people are not driving to Talala for a cupcake.
No, they will not.
Not like in Jinx, where legit people would come to my house for a cup of cookie dough.
Oh yeah.
Because you're just in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right?
You're not in the neighborhood in Talala. No. Even from Collinsville, it's kind of a drive.
It's a drive.
Yeah.
It's a drive to get people out there, which is why I do delivery, right? Because I still have a ton because I built my business south and then worked in Broken Arrow for so long, I still have so many customers that want my stuff, but they want me to bring it. And we're in the era of Amazon, right?
Yeah.
So really, I think people want you to not just bring it to them, but also put it in their fridge, reheat it, maybe feed it to them.
Yeah.
That'd be great, right? Like, could you open the garage with the garage code, put it in the garage refrigerator, and put all the reheating instructions on my door?
Really?
Like, sure.
Yeah.
I sure will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For $800.
Concierge bakery. Absolutely. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just had that itch when I was there and I knew that once I decided that I was going to open, I felt it was kind of a conflict. You know, I didn't want to continue and feel like I was just stealing all of that knowledge. Sure. And all, you know, she gave me more than she'll ever know in the kind of swift, like, push that I needed for $10 an hour. I got so much more than that from working at her bakery.
That's better than college.
That's so true.
You got paid to do this.
Right, exactly.
You got paid to learn.
Exactly, yeah. So that was so helpful. Cool. And that really is what pushed me into, like, no matter what, I know I'm doing this. And so I just started emailing chambers of commerce. Okay. That was the suggestion. So I Googled chambers of commerce, Nowata, chambers of commerce, Ulaga. Obviously, Talala, maybe not obviously. There is no chambers of commerce in Talala. There was in Ulaga, Collinsville, Owasso. I looked in Claremore. Mm-hmm. I looked in Broken Arrow. I've driven for work before, and Collinsville was the first. And I think I think Owasso did respond, but it took a couple of weeks. But whoever the lady was on the other end of the email in Collinsville was the most helpful. And she was like, I can get you realtors. Cool. You know, I know a guy that owns this old building and he used to have a tenant, but he doesn't anymore. And I don't know why. And maybe you could find out. And boy, dog with a bone.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
There.
I was like, you are going to rent to me.
Wow.
I am going to make this so fun for you.
Cool.
You're going to want to rent to me.
Yeah.
And he did.
Well, good.
With a lot of conversation.
Well, I mean, anything worth doing is worthwhile, right?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
No one said it was going to be easy.
No, I didn't.
Speaking of easy, you were mentioning before we hopped on here, you're like, man, a business owner, it's like the best and the hardest thing that you can be.
Right.
Right. Because on one hand, it's super rewarding.
Right.
As far as like fulfillment goes, like you're making a difference, you're impacting people, you're doing what you love, right? And then on the second hand, it's like, oh my gosh, like what is happening right now?
So hard. So hard.
What is like one of the biggest challenges that you have?
I think for me, it's a lot of, I want so bad. I feel like I'm screaming, you know, like no one has ever talked so much about themselves. You know, it feels odd to be like, Heather B for life. Like, you will love me. I just, like, that's not supernatural to, and I'm talking like every day, 30 times a day, never a day off. Like, you have to be I have to be my favorite person. And I'm just here to tell you that is not how I feel all the time, right? Like, that is not what I think all the time, where it's like, I am the best there's ever been, ever.
Yeah.
And I don't always think that, but you just keep, because you have got to get your name out there. You got to get people to try.
You have to promote yourself.
You got to promote yourself. You have to be.
As soon as you stop promoting yourself, your business dies.
Correct. And I've read other places where it's like one of the biggest reasons that small businesses fail is lack of exposure. There's so many people to reach. It's astounding how many people come into my business now. We're going on 3 years. Even people that live in Collinsville city limits that tell me they had no idea that I was there. And so I have work to do. Like I have never yelled so loud about myself in my entire life. And it's just not natural. It just is not natural for anybody.
And it will never become natural, I don't think.
Right.
There's a level. So like, you know, we do a lot of social media here. Right. That's one of our biggest things that we do. And, when I started promoting myself, it was completely unnatural.
Right.
I hated being in front of a camera. I hated saying the same line over 50,000 different times.
Right.
And, but the second time I did it was a lot easier.
Right.
The third time I did it was a lot easier. And we did this video the other day for like onboarding clients or whatever. And my social director was like walking me through the steps, and I was able to fly through it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a long video.
Yeah.
But I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this. You
Right.
know? So
Yeah.
like it gets easier.
Right.
It
It
gets
does
a
get
lot
easier.
But
Yeah.
you're right. You know, there's
But
always.
it never stops.
No.
I mean, you just think you're going to get to a, like, in my mind, the amount of that I talk about myself, and my stuff is good.
Yeah.
I mean, I make good. I make stuff
believe
I
you.
want to eat. Like it's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm happy to toot my own horn about how good it tastes. I don't do it for the, I mean, I do it because it's good.
Yeah.
Like I do want you to try it, and I guarantee you'll be back. But in my head, it's going to be like a line down Collinsville. We're going to block traffic. Highway 20 is going to shut down. It's going to back all the way to Highway 75. And people from Wichita are going to be like hearing about me. Like, I have got to get down there.
I got to try it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not happened yet. So that's strange.
Yeah. Why?
So that feels bad.
What the heck? Yeah.
So that's not happening.
Yeah.
So, you put in all of this effort and all of this, and there's still, like, you just still can't reach absolutely everybody because you just can't do all the things.
Well, and part of like the conversation that I have with a lot of business owners is like, I can't coerce you. I
Right.
can't coerce a customer to pick you.
Right.
I can get them and you in front of them.
Right.
But like, what is the message? What
Right.
is the call to action?
Right.
What value do you bring as a business owner to this
Right.
random person that you've
Right.
never met?
Right.
There-
And you're not for everybody.
No,
You're just not.
no, you
Right.
aren't.
That's
Yeah.
been a fun lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun lesson.
That's one of the best lessons.
Not everybody has to like you. Like, okay.
Well, not everyone.
Good.
Not everyone needs to like hate me either.
Right. I don't need to hear about it. Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't need to know what
Yeah.
they think at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't
Just-
their opinion none of my business?
just keep
Isn't
it
that
s-
what they say?
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Please.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you put yourself out there over, and you do get both pieces of feedback. And sometimes you do wish that, their opinion was none of your business.
Yeah,
And
but
I'd like to not know.
I would say that some of that though is like the way that your business grows exponentially
Right.
further.
Right. And I do find, my tribe, my audience, my customer base, I mean, they will go to bat. I mean, if someone calls me out, they are there.
Yeah.
They are like, we're not doing this.
You're not messing with Heather B.
We're not doing this. Don't you say that about Heather Bees. And that's true. And I've had that. They love, I don't deserve the love.
Light the pitchforks or
Light
the torches.
Light
get
the torches.
yeah,
We are going at midnight. Meet at the town square.
in Talala.
We're going to take care of this.
And we're going.
We're
Yeah,
going.
Yeah.
And they will.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed, right? It's just that I need the amount of support, and, like, not everybody can like buy from a bakery every single day that they're open,
Oh,
right?
no,
So you just have to have an enormous client base to survive.
You have to have a bunch of people that you regularly market to.
Correct.
That you regularly, there's touch points, right? And
Right.
you have to remind people constantly. that you're there.
Like, don't forget.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Right. Happy birthday.
How many
Want some
birthdays?
lunch?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. How many birthdays do you have, by
Are you
the
going
way?
to eat lunch today? You sure? No?
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 Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You talked about exposure there for a second. And I'm going to do a shameless plug here, but if you could like talk to a business owner and maybe explain why the association is so important, and we're infiltrating Owasso and the surrounding areas,
Right.
and everyone that is affected by that. And if you could talk to a business owner and say like why the association is so important,
Right.
why it matters,
Right.
what would you say?
I mean, networking is, by far what has grown my business the fastest. I've been a part of other networking groups. You can't talk to everybody. You can't, this world is just so gigantic. You just have no idea how many people you need to reach
Yeah.
to be uber successful.
Yeah.
And so
as far as, sorry, I
Go
didn't mean
ahead.
to cut you off. As far as networking goes, the association by trade isn't necessarily like a networking group. We're more probably resource driven
Right.
than anything, of like providing the tools and exposure that small businesses need. So like networking 1000% is a part of
Right.
it, because how else are you supposed to grow your business?
Right.
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 But you know, the resources that we provide, I think, is more of, I think what we're trying to get at as far as like, you know, the Owasso area, because Owasso is weird, right?
Yeah.
It's a weird, like, and I don't mean that badly.
No, absolutely. Right.
Anyone listening here, but it's set up in a very odd manner, right? You have Main Street, which is way on 76, and then you have 96
that's
just packed,
packed.
and then everything else is like in a nook and cranny everywhere else. So,
Right.
And I think that was one of the reasons why Megan started, our president started everything, was, you know, her Dodwell Designs, you know, she had to shut her doors, and she was such a huge proponent on never having anyone in Owasso ever have to do that again.
Right. It's devastating.
So like you as Heather B. Sweets,
Right.
how can we help you
Right.
not do that?
Yeah. Tell
Right?
everyone.
Tell everyone.
Tell everyone. Tell
Exactly.
everyone. And so this is such a good example. So like, hey, Heather, why don't you have a sign on your building? Like, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
That's such a, I like,
Who thought of that?
literally, I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I mean, probably because it's $3,000, but like,
Yeah.
could I have a sign on my building? Do you know anybody that could help me with that? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Tell
we're
me.
gonna get a sign put on the building, and it's gonna say Heather B. Sweets, and like it's gonna look like I'm not just renting the place
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Like I want to look like I'm there to stay.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would have known that people thought that without someone saying like, why is there no sign out there? Like, I can get a sign. Sure.
Yeah, get
There's
a
got to be
sign.
someone that does that.
Yeah.
There are.
There are plenty of people.
Megan
Plenty.
knows.
Megan knows. Yeah.
Megan knows.
Yeah.
So like that's huge. Like you can't know every aspect of. You need someone's outside perspective that comes in as a customer and not you as the owner to tell you like, what if you did this one thing? Like, deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is genius.
Yeah, genius. Oh, man.
Genius.
A sign. Wow. Yeah.
A sign.
Yeah.
A sign on the building so it looks like I'm there to stay. Like that's so true.
You're setting up shop. You're rooted.
I'm not
in the
going
community.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to move. I don't want to go to another town. I don't want to open it. How is Heather B supposed to be in 7 locations? She's just one person.
Yeah.
Is it Heather B Sweets if Heather B doesn't make everything?
No. Well,
No.
well, actually, it could be.
It could be,
It could be if you.
but it doesn't feel like it.
Well, you got to train them.
Right.
Train them, and they will come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for people that have children. I didn't do that.
No.
So that feels hard. That sounds hard. Yeah. No thanks.
Well, it can't be any harder than what you're doing right now, I'm sure. But,
Lord have mercy.
I mean,
Yeah.
it might be actually.
yeah,
I don't know.
think
I don't have kids.
I feel like being responsible for another human life feels
it's pretty difficult
for the
Yeah.
birds. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
I don't have kids yet, but
Yeah.
when I do,
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, 40, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
all set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, this has been wonderful getting to learn about you and your business. Is there any
Thank you.
last minute tidbits on, that you could tell a consumer like, hey, I got some specials going on, or
Little tidbits about Heather B. So, Heather B Sweets is on Main Street in Collinsville, 1112 West Main Street. I'm open Wednesdays to Saturdays from 10 to 6. I do have a website. It's hbsweets.co. You can order online. You can order online custom orders. So you can customize a birthday cake or birthday cupcakes or an anniversary
That's fun.
platter, or there are meal prep options where you can order for my soup example. So my sweet lady that really needed something comforting and easy on the tummy because she was going into soft foods, she ordered my meal prep potato soup.
Yeah.
I change my menu every week, so I release a new menu every Sunday. And I've done that now every single week going on 3 years.
Wow.
And that's just my own personal, obviously you go to Panera and their bakery has the same thing every day. And there's something to be said about the consistency of, I really like their XYZ cookie or croissant or whatever. But for me, like the creative process of getting to do a new menu and getting to kind of hit all of those flavor notes, everybody's got vastly different tastes. And so I want to, you know, I am only 600 square feet, right? So there's only so much that can be for sale in my bakery at any one time.
Sure.
And so I like that I'm able to change the menu every week so that they know what I'm capable of and that I can offer different things. I also do my own deliveries. And so I know there are Uber Eats and DoorDash and all of that. I do all of my own deliveries myself. And that's just something that I've always done. I know that when I order, like if I order from Walmart or I want it now. I want it in my belly. I love Amazon. I love Prime. I want to be that for other people. And I also don't want someone to set, you know, you order 4 cups of banana pudding and then someone just leaves it on the porch and rings the doorbell and leaves. It can't just sit there.
No,
right? You got to hand it to a person.
Get pretty gross.
Gonna get pretty
quick.
yucky.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I do all my own deliveries and make sure that the person is actually there. And
Fantastic.
you know,
I love that.
It's good.
I love that. Where's it going in the next 2-3 years? Where do you
So
see it going?
I don't want to physically go anywhere. I want to be where I really love my space. I love that it's small. I love that it's set up as a 1-person kitchen. I did recently hire someone. I actually went to high school with her. We graduated high school the same year. She is a mom of 5 and has been a stay-at-home mom. Obviously, I don't know how you would not to raise 5 children. I mean, I don't know how Anyway, I can't even imagine raising 5 children. And I think 4 were boys.
My gosh.
She's a superhero.
Yeah.
Anyway, her kids are to a point where she was ready to like go back to work, but not like they still have doctor's appointments and sports and like how do you have a full-time job and have 5 children that need to go to soccer and the dentist? And so it was so perfect. It was such a match made in heaven because I was like, I mean, obviously I don't have a ton of hours to give, but she's going to be a game changer for me, for someone that can know what a teaspoon is and know what a tape and follow a recipe. And, you know, someone that is a mom and like knows how to make those grandma recipes and, you know.
Cool.
So she's going to be a game changer for me to be able to help me in the kitchen.
Awesome.
I've not focused on that ever. It's always been just me back there.
Yeah.
And so having Kim be someone that can really help me in the kitchen. And maybe I could take a vacation and not close the shop.
Yeah.
Because I've never done that, right? If I want to
make-
take a vacation, which I do, I close every January for a week. That's my birthday week.
Yeah.
And, you know, January, everybody's got to lose 500 pounds, most of which was my fault anyway. And there's no more money, right? You've spent all of your money. There's no money in January for any business.
Yep.
And so I usually close for a week in January. And if I leave, I have to close. There's no one. The girls can run the front, but not if there's no cookies to sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So could I teach someone how to do my stuff? Could I write a cookbook? Could I start a podcast? Could I start a entrepreneurship course? All are on the table.
Yes.
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 Yes, I
It's
could.
just a matter of time.
I need a little help.
Effort
Yep.
and help.
Yep.
And
I need a little help.
Resources.
Yep,
And
exactly.
exposure.
Like
Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ian.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been lovely getting to know more about you
Thank
and
you.
your business. And we will see you next time.
All right, sounds good.
And we're done.
Cut.
Cut. You did awesome.
Thank you.
So cool. Ow. Every time.
So I tried to look up